welcome back to Ebb and Flow Creative Co. Today I'm going to be painting a sketchbook spread using my November art prompts. Every month I send out a list of art prompts and a color palette in my email list. If you'd like to join that, I'll leave the link below. This is November's list. It's all food, which I thought would really be fun, and then I'm using this color palette. It's actually based on a gouache color palette that I'm really loving, but today I'll be using watercolor and pencil and probably some pen. So I'm going to go ahead and get started drawing some of the food. So I finished drawing. I have the salt and pepper for seasonings, chocolate, sugar bowl, tomato, corn, cookie, egg, and then I drew in bacon for like breakfast, spatula, a radish, cheese, and this will be a bowl of pasta. So it will be really fun to illustrate food with this weird color palette, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. The color palette I'm using today will be, like I said, it's all watercolor. I'm using a Titan Buff, I guess it is, for the kind of beigey color. Didn't quite leave room for it, but I'll squeeze it in. I'm using Shell Pink. It's a Holbein color for the kind of pinky color. For the orangey red, I'm just going to use Pyrrole Red. For the yellow, I'm going to use the quinacridone Gold. For the green, I'm using Daniel Smith Sap Green. For the turquoise, I'm using the Daniel Smith Phthalo Turquoise. And then I'm going to use indigo. It's a Daniel Smith color as well. And I will have all the colors and supplies linked below. Alright, so when I get started with an idea like this, I like to start with the colors that are obvious, like the egg yolk. It's obviously yellow, so we'll go ahead and get started with that. And I'm not real worried about following my lines exactly, just kind of having fun with it. The cheese, also yellow. And I'm just blocking in color, and I'll go back and add details later. The bowl of pasta, I didn't quite erase enough of that. I'm going to I'm just going to put a blob of the Titan Buff in there and add in a little bit of the quinacridone Gold, just to make it more varied. And I know you're probably thinking, like, that's not great, but when we add in all the fun detail of the, oh, that's too yellow. When we add on all the fun detail with the pencil and ink, it'll all come together. It's my favorite part of painting. All right, the corn's yellow, so let's paint that. And I'm okay with colors blending during this portion. So we're going to go ahead and add in the leaves of the corn and let it flow. It's flowing a little too much, so we'll go in and take some of that. Oh yeah, it went crazy. So I'm going to take a dry brush and try to lift some of this green. That's much better. All right, from here, I'm going to make the tomato red, and we will let this dry before adding in the stem because I don't want it to go too crazy with the color mixing. I really love working with a limited palette. It just forces you to be super creative. Like, there's no brown in this palette, so it'll be fun to figure out the chocolate and the cookie. The bacon, I'm gonna go with red too. Maybe add in some pink. That's a lot of red. And then the dishes and stuff will probably be the blue colors. So I'm adding in some of the shell pink just to change it a bit. It's not doing a lot, but it's doing a little bit. The radish, I probably should have Googled exactly what a radish looks like. So we're going with my memory, which is probably not correct. I feel like I just painted one recently, so I don't know that I'm that off. But I'm gonna do the Titan buff down at the bottom. And I'm gonna let them dry a little bit and then let them flow into each other because that red is just so pushy. I'll at least get them closer to each other. So from here, I have to figure out the cookie. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and add in some of the blue. So I want the fork in the spaghetti bowl to be the turquoise color. And I forgot the meatball. So we're gonna give it a little meatball. I think for the cookie, we're gonna go with the Titan buff. Just do the whole thing. And so obviously, if you don't like working with such a strict color palette, you can mix the colors and make yourself brown. I find that this activity is really fun and freeing. So now I'm going to add details. I just want to add a little pink scallop to the bowl. And once again, the pencils will do a lot of the heavy lifting and the details. And add a little stripe. And then maybe one more stripe at the bottom. All right, on the cheese, I'm going to go back in and make it a little darker. That's too dark. On the little cheese holes. And then I'm going to see if the pink will go over this a little better now. Just to make kind of a stripe. I think it'll do a little bit. All right, and then all of that I'm good with. Let's see. On the sugar bowl, I'm gonna grab a smaller brush actually. I want to do another little scallop design. All right, it's all dry. And I'm gonna add a little stripe on the spoon and the little lid knob. It's still a little wet, and that's okay. Oh, it's pretty wet. So we'll keep an eye on that. I think it'll be fine though. And then on the salt and pepper, we'll just add the S. It's really hard to paint without moving paper. All right, and maybe just a little line, just to add some detail. So I'm going to let this dry completely, and then I'll come back and add the rest of the details. I'm back and everything's dried. This bled a little more than I like, but that's okay. I'm going to go in and add pen detail. This is a Tombow pen. It's one of my favorites to use. So start with the chocolate that I completely messed up. They just kind of look like crystals, which is funny. Then my pen's almost dead, so I'll be needing to buy another one soon. On the corn, I'll go in with pencil and add detail. Alright, so this is the end of the sketchbook spread. I added a lot of detail with color pencils, and I really love the weird color palette with the food and kitchen items. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to join that email list, the link below, you get a color palette and a list of art prompts every single month around the 1st. So thank you for watching.